up? Welcome back to my channel. This is Talking TV with Lex, and if you clicked on this video, then you know we are talking Grownish Season 3, Episode 7. Before we get into it, make sure you like and comment on this video as you're watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you don't already, and make sure you turn those notifications on so you know anytime I drop a new video. So if you're interested in hearing all about what I thought of this episode, please continue to watch. So overall, this was a good episode. I love when there are episodes that center on some of the supporting characters and not just Zoey. So I was interested in seeing more about, Sky and Jazz and what they got going on with track. We've always known that they've been on the track team, but they never really talk about it. So I'm glad we got to see that side. And we got to see a little bit more from Anna this season, because I feel like we haven't really gotten too much from her this season. So it's funny how we're in episode 7 and we're just now getting a storyline for her. So I was excited to see that. One thing I can say is this is a mature bunch of college students, because let me just say this, the way how friendly Anna be with Aaron and her talking about her new boo to him wouldn't happen with me. The same way that Zoey is able to just kiki it up with Jillian and be around her and Luka after they just broke up, couldn't be me. So kudos to these characters for being so mature and able to handle situations like this, because honestly, if this was real life and it was me, I wouldn't be hanging out with none of these folks, keeping it real. So it's interesting to see them be these super mature, grown-up people on a show about college students. So this episode really centered more about the twins, which I liked. As I mentioned earlier, we know they're on the track team. They mentioned it and they brought it up in the last episode, because honestly, I forgot they were on the track team until they said something about their race in the last episode. So we're seeing them out on the field. Sky is upset with Jazz because she keeps being late for practice. When she's in practice, she's not doing well. And honestly, I get Sky is very focused. This track is what she wants to do. She loves it. She almost wasn't able to do it because she got injured, so she's really focused. She really brought herself back. But I kind of felt like she was being a little bit over the top with her sister. I get wanting y'all to do the best, but I don't see how she feels like her sister kind of slacking off, how that's going to affect her. I can see it if she was coming from the perspective of, I care about you and I want you to really go after what you love. But she kind of made it seem like, oh, because you're messing up, it's messing things up for me. Maybe when it comes to relays and stuff, because that's a team thing. But honestly, if you're doing what you need to do, Sky, how is her really affecting, your abilities on the field? So I kind of felt like she was being a little bit too hard on Jazz. It's never okay to be late, and if this is something that you want to do, you should take it seriously. But at the same time, I don't see an issue with her just going to hang out with her boyfriend. Not to the point where Jazz should have to feel like she has to sneak out and sneak back in. She's not your mother. I know you don't want to make your sister upset, but to me, and I'm not an athlete, so I don't know how serious it is. It really just didn't seem like that big of a deal to me. When they had the whole conversation after she snuck back in, you put Doug over everything else, I thought it was going to turn into a conversation where maybe she feels like she's forgotten about her because she's in a relationship, or maybe she feels like she's left out because she's always with Doug and she doesn't get to be around her sister. I thought it was going to turn into a conversation around missing her sister, and then I would have understood the anger, but I didn't really get why she was so upset and made such a big deal about her wanting to see her boyfriend before he went off to New York. Now, at the same time, you should never put a guy over your responsibilities, but I think she should, just tell her, hey, snap out of it, get back on your business. But I do agree with Sky in the sense that, maybe you don't really love track anymore. Maybe that's not what you want to do. And maybe that's what it's going to turn into. It's going to turn into, oh, I only wanted to be in track because Sky loved track. And now that I'm in it, I just don't want to do it anymore. Because even when they were out on the field, Doug wasn't out there and she wasn't running her best. So can they really blame Doug for her situation? I can get them blaming Doug for her being late because she's staying out late with Doug. But if she's not performing well on the field, what does that have to do with Doug? So I kind of felt like it was a little bit over dramatic. And at the end of the episode, Doug texted her after she had a really bad practice, and she was kind of looking at the phone like she was contemplating breaking up with him, and she mentioned it in the conversation with her sister as well. She's like, do you want me to break up with him? I swear, if she breaks up with Doug over this, I'm going to be so mad. left us in a place where we don't really know what she's going to do. Is she going to break up with Doug? Is she, you know, just going to scale back on being around him so she can focus? Is she going to quit track? I don't really know where it's going to end and what they're going to do, but I can say that I felt like it was a little bit over dramatic and over the top, and I didn't really get why her sister was so upset. But at the same time, I do want these college students to stop focusing so much on relationships and handle their business. So I do agree with that aspect. We did get a little bit from Zoey this episode. When the episode started, she was FaceTiming Nomi. So I guess that's how Nomi's going to continue to be on the show. I had mentioned in previous reviews that I thought they were trying to figure out ways to get her off the show. But I guess she is going to be on it, just not as much. She still could be pregnant, like my theory, because all we see is her on the FaceTime. So it could be just a way for them to get the actress off for right now so she can have her real baby in real life, because I think she's pregnant in real life, and then come back to the show afterwards. I don't know what that's going to mean for her storyline, but regardless, we did see a little bit of Nomi on this episode. They were talking about Erin and how Erin hasn't been returning any of her phone calls and has been ignoring her and yada yada yada. I thought they were going to talk about that more in the episode, but they really didn't, which I'm glad about, because honestly, can they just be friends again? Like, I don't want to see no more drama with their whole relationship. I don't want them to dwell on this whole situation with her dad any longer, because it ended up working out for him anyway. So why continue to hold the grudge? Then Zoey bumps into Jillian and they like, hey girl, boom, 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 boom. Like, they besties now. I am cool with them being cool. Like, I wanted Jillian to come on the show and be part of the friend group. But the fact that Jillian is technically with Luka now, like they're together, and her and Zoey are acting so buddy-buddy is really weird to me. Like, maybe I'm just a little bit too immature, but I don't think I can be best friends with my man's new girl literally right after we just broke up, and literally right after we just had a moment where we were trying to figure out if we were still together and telling each other we still love each other. Hell, if I was Jillian, I wouldn't want to be friends with Zoey, because you just had a whole situation with the guy that I'm dating while I was dating him not too long ago. And I mean, I guess they technically weren't together until this episode, but they were messing around. So it's kind of weird that they're so close right now, so close to the point where Jillian invited Zoey to come to Luka's kickback. Like, now you invited my ex, your new boo, to come kick it with y'all? Like, what? Like, like I said, I don't know if I'm just not at that space in my life yet. Maybe it makes me immature, or maybe I just need to stop. I don't even consider it holding grudges, but I just don't think there's any type of scenario or situation where you need to be that buddy-buddy with your ex and their new boo and be friends with that new person, especially when y'all were messing with the guy at the same time. So I don't know if that's just how it's going to be from now on, if they're never going to actually address it, if they just are going to have them all be friends and Zoey doesn't care anymore. But it just seems really weird that they're in this position together. I mean, Jillian's been a good friend to Zoey so far. Like, Zoey had a moment where, you know, she was sad that she missed out on doing a styling gig for Joey because she had to take her final, and Jillian was there for her, so that's great. But is that really realistic? Is that really how something would be handled like this in the real world? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think. One thing I also didn't like is why does Zoey keep helping Luka? Like, you send him to go do your work for you with the same person that y'all broke up over, once again, because you were trying to help him get on with him and he wanted you, so y'all broke up over it, and then now y'all are broken up and you send him to go help him do your work for you. Like, you see how weird that sounds? Like, I just don't understand why she keeps giving him all these great opportunities when he continues to shit on her. Like, let's just be real about it. Like, he was playing games with her. He was the reason why they broke up. He was messing around with another girl while he was still trying to figure things out with her. Now he got this new girl all up in my face, and in all these situations that he's been doing to her, she still gave his clothes to Joey Badass. She still let him go to Vegas and do the stuff for her. And it's like, why are you continue to help this man who has made it clear that he doesn't care? I mean, he said he cared about you, but he doesn't treat her like he cares about her. I just wish she would stop trying to do so much for Luka, because honestly he really doesn't deserve it, and I really don't think he deserves her friendship right now. I was hoping when they had their last conversation that they were going to end it on, we just need space from each other. And I guess it's cool that they can be friends now because they were friends before, but this situation is just weird. Also, how are they already taking finals right now? Didn't they just come back from the summer? Speaking of awkward situation with your ex, Anna and her TA, intern supervisor, potential boo, go to Aaron to try to rent a room space. And automatically I feel awkward that she has to be in that situation with the guy that she used to like and the guy that she does like, but they act completely normal. They still have their same, you know, snarky comebacks, but then they end up having a real conversation about how she does like this guy, but she doesn't want to make the same mistake that she made with Aaron by crossing the line. And Aaron's like, you know, don't use our situation as a way to mess up something that could potentially be a good thing. So I guess it shows that they really actually are over each other. I guess we should have known she was truly over Aaron when she found out about him and Zoey and didn't even seem like she cared about it. So I guess they can be in a good place right now because they technically weren't together, and they seem okay. But I just am the type of person, I need more time. Like, after we end in a bad way, you know, I need some space, you know, but I guess she had the whole summer and however long it's been from the summer till now to get over it. So I guess it's good that they're able to still be friends after, you know, everything that went down with them the semester prior. So she takes his advice and she tells her TA, intern supervisor, future boo, like, hey, you know, I feel like there's some type of chemistry between us, but I don't want to cross the line. And he says, I don't know where you got that from. That's not where I am right now. I don't want to cross the line either. But then like 5 minutes later comes back and they end up making out. So why either one of them was like, let's not do this, but then did it anyway? It's like, okay, y'all could have just done it from the first place. But it's safe to say that Anna has a new boo. No more Aaron. I don't know if it's going to be a weird situation because, you know, it's her internship and they technically should be handling things professionally. So hopefully it's not another situation where she's missing out on a good opportunity because of a guy. And I hope that it's not anything toxic or dramatic and that it can just be something cool. Because, you know, at this point I've realized that there's no possible way for anybody except for Vivek to be on this show and not have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So I just have to hope that when they do have those on this show that they're at least, you know, good relationships where they can still handle their schoolwork and go after their dreams and aren't fighting every single episode. That pretty much wraps up this episode. I thought it was another good episode. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Jazz and Doug. I really don't want them to break up. They're like the only people on this show that I actually like together and don't want to see end. So I don't want to see them end. I hope she can find a way to balance it where she can continue to date him and continue to accomplish her dream and not make her sister mad. So hopefully they work that out. And I'm excited to see, you know, I'm sure they're going to bring up at some point the whole situation with Aaron and Zoey. I'm sure there's going to be a whole episode about it. I don't know if that's the next episode or when it's coming, but I'm sure that's coming soon. I'm just excited to see how they're going to be wrapping things up because I think we only have like 2 episodes left out of this one before the mid-season finale. So interesting to see how they're planning to end the semester. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love talking about Grownish with you. Make sure you like this video if you haven't already. Comment on this video. Let me know what you think. And if you don't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see more Grownish reviews and any other videos that I post. And make sure you turn on those notifications so you know when those videos drop. Thank you so much again. I'm Alexis. This has been Talking TV with Lex. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.